The sun had just begun to set over a quiet coastal village, painting the sky with brilliant shades of orange and pink. The waves crashed gently against the shore as a fisherman sat under the shade of a palm tree, whistling a tune while mending his net. Beside him, a small wooden boat was docked, carrying a modest but sufficient catch of fresh fish. Just then, a well-dressed businessman walked by, his expensive leather shoes sinking slightly into the sand. He was in town for a corporate retreat, but couldn't resist checking his emails even while on vacation. As he looked up from his phone, he noticed the fisherman sitting idly, enjoying the ocean breeze. Frowning, the businessman approached. "Excuse me," he said, adjusting his tie. "Why are you just sitting here? Why aren't you out fishing?" The fisherman smiled. "I caught enough fish for today. Now I can relax, play with my children, and enjoy a meal with my family." The businessman chuckled, shaking his head. "You know, if you worked harder, you could catch more fish." The fisherman raised an eyebrow. "And then what?" "Then you could sell the extra fish and make more money." The businessman explained. "With more money, you could buy a bigger boat." The fisherman nodded. "And then, with a bigger boat, you could catch even more fish, hire workers, and start a fishing company." "And after that?" the fisherman asked again. "Well," the businessman continued, "eventually, you could expand your business, open processing plants, and become a seafood tycoon. You'd make millions." "And then?" the fisherman asked once more. The businessman's eyes lit up. "Then you could retire. You could move to a quiet village, spend time with your family, and relax by the sea." The fisherman let out a deep, hearty laugh. "But I'm already doing that now." The businessman opened his mouth to respond, but no words came out. For the first time in years, the businessman was speechless. He had spent his entire life chasing success, believing that happiness was something he could only afford after working endlessly for decades. Yet this fisherman, a man with no corporate empire, no overflowing bank account, no towering office buildings, was already living the life he dreamed of. The businessman sank down onto the sand beside the fisherman. He loosened his tie, unbuttoned the top of his stiff collar, and let out a long breath. "Do you really think I've been doing it all wrong?" he asked quietly. The fisherman smiled, handing him a fresh coconut. "That depends. Do you enjoy what you do?" The businessman hesitated. He had spent years working late nights, skipping family gatherings, sacrificing vacations, all for the promise of someday being able to enjoy life. But someday never seemed to come. "I don't know," he admitted. The fisherman took a sip of his coconut and nodded. "Well, my friend, happiness isn't something you should postpone for later. The key to a rich life isn't just money, it's time, it's freedom, it's being with the people you love." The businessman sat in silence, watching the waves roll in and out, realizing that in all his years of chasing success, he had forgotten to simply live. That night, for the first time in years, he put his phone away and enjoyed a sunset without checking his emails. And for the first time in a long time, he felt free. Many people spend their entire lives chasing money, success, and status, believing that happiness is something they can only afford after years of hard work. But the truth is, true wealth isn't measured by how much you earn, it's measured by how much you enjoy your life. Happiness isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. Success isn't just about making money, it's about having time to enjoy life. A simple life, full of love and freedom, can be richer than a life spent chasing wealth. Before you sacrifice your happiness for someday, ask yourself, are you already living the dream you're working so hard for?